This is not how you play Echo. Welcome, detectives. Today we are investigating a gold game on Hollywood where an Echo plays like a Widowmaker, a Rein charges in alone in the final moments of the game, and a Lucio couldn't have tried to carry harder. Roll the tape. Our team, the red team, loses this game. We know that though. The real question we're here to answer is, who is the most responsible for that loss? Who threw? For round 1, Team 2 is on attack and consists of a Roadhog, Bastion, Echo, Lucio, and Wu Yang. Team 1 consists of a Doom, Ashe, Torb, Lifeweaver, and Juno. The doors open and the game begins. Team 2 quickly manages to muscle their way through the choke because Hog is hooking the Doomfist off cooldown. They are already in a fantastic position. The hardest part of taking this point should really be over. Hog makes the bold choice to flank around. It's not a bad play, but will his team follow him? Of course not. This is gold. I mean, we've got a Lucio for God's sake. What the hell are we doing sitting at the choke without our tank? This is obviously a horrible lack of coordination and a sign of what's to come. Now, because the entire enemy team is looking down this sight line, Echo gets blown up the instant she peeks. There was literally nothing her supports could have done to save her here. This is our first clue of the investigation. It's never good to be the first person to die in a match. Lucio joins Hog and no one else follows. Wu Yang decides he should cosplay as the tank while the Roadhog is over here, actually making plays. And Wu Yang dies because, unfortunately, he is not a tank. If anyone followed Roadhog from the start, this fight would already be over. Wu Yang earns our second clue and learns the hard way he queued for support. Now, fight 1 doesn't really end here. You can see that Roadhog never really backs out and actually almost dies, but we'll call this fight 1.5. Roadhog takes the pedal to the high ground. The enemy Ashe pushes the high ground alone for some reason, and together Hog and Lucio take her out. Surely Team 2 has it this time. They have the high ground and a pick. But while that's happening, Torb has flanked all the way around. Bastion, criminally unaware, dies. Wu Yang was just a second too late to save him. Bastion is looking pretty suspicious sitting out in the open like that, so that's our third clue of the match. Hog gives up his primo high ground immediately for no reason, jumping into the enemy team right after his DPS just died. At the same time, Echo flies into the Torb, who is still sitting right here, completely unaware he's even there. So far, Echo has done literally nothing but die this game, and for somehow being even less aware than our Bastion, that's the fourth clue of the match. And just like that, a fight that seemed unlosable is doomed. Now it's just Hog, Lucio, and Wu Yang. They push the point, but Torb finishes his flank and ults. They're all forced out of enemy territory. Well, kinda. Our tank never really leaves and instead posts up in the same spot. His team is reset and is trying to get through the choke, but he has completely forgotten about them. That's clue number 5 for Hog playing his own game. We start fight 2, and at this point, it's very clear that the DPS don't know what's going on. They're playing like they have a Reinhardt. Lucio should be using his speed boost to get the rest of the team across this sight line to join the Roadhog. Instead, they're sitting at the choke eating Ashe dynamites and Torb turret shots. Hog goes in, and his team kind of follows up. He gets Lifeweaver low, but then just gives up chasing him, and instead of finishing his food, he decides to ult the Ashe and Juno who are sitting in the lower part of the cafe. But it pays off. He kills both of them. He comes back to point and uses the rest of his ult to bully Doomfist. He hooks him, and Lifeweaver is forced to ult to try and save Doom. At the same time, Lucio runs into this room here to duel the Torb and wins, but just when things were looking up, Wu Yang throws pretty hard here. Instead of doing anything, he tries to solo burn the Lifeweaver tree. Lifeweaver pushes him, nearly kills him, and then Doomfist finishes him because he's just kind of standing there. Echo dies because she was doing pretty much the same thing as Wu Yang, standing out in the open. It almost looks like our squad has thrown this fight too when Bastion ults, and with that, Team 2 is able to clean up and take point A. It's been a chaotic game so far with numerous mistakes, so let's recap our list of clues. Clue 1, Echo got blown up. This was our first clue of the investigation. It's never good to be the first person to die in a match. Wu Yang earned our second clue and learned the hard way that he queued up for support. Bastion died to Torb's epic flank. He even built his turret right next to him. Echo dies to the same epic Torb flank, and Hog was playing his own game. With 5 clues already, we head into the second point. Team 1 is not able to hold the doors here because people are still respawning, which is great for our team. They push through without any trouble, and immediately Hog finds a pick. He hooks and kills Torb, and then Echo flies in and ults Doom. The fight is pretty messy, but they have successfully pushed the enemy team back. Everyone on both teams disengages, except for our Echo. She overplays, trying to force her ult to get value. It ends, and she finds herself in front of the entire enemy team alone. She dies, and that is our 6th clue of the match. Echo overplayed her ult and died for it. Fight number 4 of the match breaks out right here. Both Wu Yang and Lucio ult nearly at the exact same time. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure why either of them ulted, but using both your support ults in the same fight at the same time is pretty much always a bit of a throw. Wu Yang runs in and does actually secure some value with his ult. He ults Doom and Lifeweaver, and Hog is able to finish off Doomfist. While he's doing that, our Lucio is 1v1ing the Ashe and wins. Lucio is kind of crazy. Our team is very much up in this fight, and it should be pretty easy for them to close this point out. Roadhog ults and smokes Lifeweaver. Our squad has managed to win the fight even though they were down a DPS the entire time. After killing Lifeweaver, he uses the rest of his ult to push Torb back into our team. Torb should really be dead here. Like, there's no way he survives this, right? Torb lives and ults the point and then dies right after. And while that was horrible, what our Hog does next is even worse and pretty much single-handedly ensures that this fight is a lost one. He walks all the way around the jail looking for Torb, so Doom is able to come out to the point for free. Doom ults and Ashe throws Bob. Doom kills Echo and Lucio with his ult, and Bob kills Wu Yang. Just like that, our team has fallen apart and the fight is lost. If Roadhog had just held that door instead of chasing a Torb who dies anyway, this probably would have been free. That is our 7th clue of the match. Roadhog chased a Torb instead of doing his job. Both teams have regrouped and Fight 7 is about to begin. Well, almost everyone has regrouped. Bastion died late and is still on the way back from spawn. The enemy Doomfist has swapped to Ramatra. The fight opens with Echo pushing the high ground where Ashe is hiding. She nearly kills her and takes the high ground. This is probably the best thing Echo has done the entire game. You can see here that right after that, Wu Yang runs to the point alone and nearly dies. I'm not sure what he was doing, but he does live, and at the same time, our Roadhog kills Torb. We are officially up. But as we've seen many times already, it doesn't seem like there's any advantage we could give our team that they couldn't throw away. Thankfully, the rest of the enemy team is pretty disorganized here. Lucio and Roadhog kind of just kill everyone one by one and take the point. Fight 7 starts as we push into the 3rd point. This has been a very messy game so far, but Lucio and Hog are really doing their best to carry. It feels like the rest of the team might as well not even be there. Bastion opens the fight with his ult. The enemy Lifeweaver and Torb get close spawned and separated from the rest of their team. Lucio sees that, jumps the Lifeweaver and kills him. Bastion's ult gets nothing. I mean, look at this ult. Lucio, being the god gamer that he is, kills Torb with the help of his team while Roadhog ults and bullies Ramatra back. The enemy team is forced back to this choke and Juno wastes her ult. So far, 3rd point has been great. And basically right after that, Fight 8 starts with a wasted Lifeweaver ult. Surely our team is gonna win this. They just wasted both of their support ults. Echo ults Ram so far away as to be useless. She spends most of the ult walking to get in range to actually do anything. Lucio takes out the turret, and Roadhog kills Ashe. After Echo's ult ends, she backs up so far to make sure that she stays useless. It's a mind-boggling bad play. The turret and Ashe are both dead. She is full health. There's literally nothing for her to be afraid of, but she still chooses to play a position where she can't contribute to the fight. That is our 8th clue of the match. Echo played so far back, she could not contribute. Wu Yang and Lucio ult, again using their ults basically at the same time. L. Our team is scuffling on the point. Lifeweaver is brought low. They're putting a ton of pressure on the enemy team, and check out Echo. I think this must be their first game on Echo. I don't think they know what their hero does. I mean, what are we doing here? Torb ults and our Bastion stands in the lava way too long. He doesn't really know where to go and escapes the lava by walking into the loving embrace of Ram's fists and dies. Now, Hog really overplays here, staying on this right side when he should have backed out. He doesn't and dies for it. Then Wu Yang, learning from the master, does the exact same thing and dies. With that, the push is dead. As everyone is regrouping and we start Fight 9, our Roadhog switches to a Reinhardt. Not really sure why, but it's certainly a choice. Then Echo dies to nothing. She's still in the same spot that she's been in forever, and she just swings out really wide, making sure that she can't get back to cover in time and gets picked. That's clue number 9. With a minute left, Echo dies before the final fight. Our Wu Yang swaps to Moira, and before Echo can rejoin the team, our tank makes a fatal error. Possibly one of the worst plays in this already terrible game. He charges all the way in alone and kills himself for literally no reason with 40 seconds on the clock. I mean, this is just one of those plays you see and a little piece of you dies. That's our 10th clue. Ryan throws any chance of our team capturing third point by charging in alone in the final moments of the match. I could break all this down here, but with our tank dead and the enemy team having 3 ults, this fight was lost before it even started. The round ends, and now it's time for us to play the other side of the map. Before we start round 2, let's go ahead and recap our investigation so far. Echo got blown up in the very beginning, Wu Yang cosplayed as a tank, Bastion died to an epic Torb flank, Echo died to the same epic Torb flank, Hog played his own game, Echo overplayed her ult and died for it, Roadhog chased a Torb instead of doing his job, Echo played so far back she could not contribute to the fight, with a minute left, Echo dies before the final fight, and then Ryan throws any chance of capturing third point by going in alone in the final moments of the round. What a game. Round 2 begins and our team comps are basically unchanged. The only difference is that our Bastion is now a Torb. Team 2 is really far forward, playing this corner, which I kinda hate. I have no idea why we're up here. Anyway, the enemy team tries to push our guys back, but Moira and Lucio go Mog the Ashe, pretty much immediately ending this fight. The enemy team regroups and tries again. But again, Ashe dies first. Ryan charges in and pins her. The enemy team tries to collapse on the Reinhardt in their backline, but Lifeweaver dies too, and then Ram falls right after. We're holding! Where was this energy on attack? Maybe no one threw this game, and it's winnable. Just kidding. Anyways, Moira and Lucio kill Torb too, and then everyone else resets. On the push towards the choke, Lifeweaver decides to frontline and gets picked by a nice little fire strike here. Standing out in the open, down a healer with no shield, the Ram and Ashe are free food for the Ryan who ults. He kills Ashe and the fight is over. The enemy team starts fight 4 with their Torb's ult. He brings our gang low, so Lucio ults to save the fight. Ryan pins Ram and kills him, but then quickly dies himself. Echo ults Ram before he dies though, and our Torb ults too. But look at how far away Echo is when she ults. It's just a horrible, horrible ult. It gets 0 value. Together, Lucio and Moira push Ashe, who is too far up on the left here, and they kill her. Without a tank or an Echo ult, our Moira ults to try and keep the enemy team at bay while we wait for our Rhine to return. She actually manages to beam down Lifeweaver here, which is awesome. With Rhine back, Q fight 5. Now, our team has been holding exceptionally well, but fight 5 is where things take a turn for the worst. Our Torb has pushed to a horrible position. Ashe flanks and throws Bob behind our team. Moira kills Ashe, but Echo, really for no reason, I mean, watch this, dies to the Bob. Ramatra ults, Lifeweaver ults, and then our team is now horribly split. In the blink of an eye, the defense has completely fallen apart. The fight is basically over at this point, and Team 1 takes the point easily, but I just want to show you this because it's funny. While Ram is slaughtering the rest of the team, check out this epic Torb play. Ryan and Torb definitely threw this fight with their positioning. Those are our 11th and 12th clues of the match. As fight 5 is ending and Team 1 is taking the point, our Moira, who was trying to touch but decides not to, stays in this awful position here. She winds up dying for it, basically ensuring this next fight is lost. Things are about to spiral out of control, but that's clue number 13. Moira overstayed and single-handedly loses the first defensive point too. Our team gets boxed into this little room here. The enemy Torb ults, nothing. The enemy Ashe has switched to a soldier and flanks, killing Echo. Lucio ults here after Echo has already died. They are locked in a tiny room with a Ramatra, and Moira is coming back from spawn. It's a horrible, horrible ult. Instead of making the most out of this ult and using it to escape, Ryan pushes deeper into the hallway and dies anyway. Our Moira has just come back from spawn, runs to the cart alone, and is immediately killed. Horrible. Our Torb up here on the high ground ults right after. Horrible. He does manage to kill the enemy Torb though, and even though he tries to hold the cart alone, he still manages to get out. So we start fight 7. Our Moira is on her way back from spawn, and so is the enemy's Torb. Things are fairly even. Our team has ults and the enemy team has none. Let's see if we can use them to secure this point. Echo ults Juno. Rein walks forward and hits Juno and Soldier with his ult. Great start. At the same time, Wifeweaver, who was on his pedal, jumps off right in front of the Reinhardt. Pro plays. Rein immediately pins Wifeweaver and kills him. However, Rein's team is so slow to follow up that he gets killed instantly. Everyone on our team could have easily backed out here. Instead, Torb gets rolled over by the enemy team and our Echo tries to beam the full health Ramattra. I don't think she knows what her hero does. Torb's needless death here is clue number 14. With that play, he made sure that we are going to start every single fight of point 2 down a member. Fight 8 opens with another awful play by our DPS, and because our Torb just died, it has to be Echo. She's not playing any cover, is behind her entire team, and gets killed by the Soldier who flanked around here. Ram ults, and things are not looking good. But our Moira has her ult. Let's play a little game real quick. Will Moira A, shift out of the Ram ult, pop her ult, and keep her team alive, or B, wraith into the enemy team's backline, ult, and then let her team die? I mean, it's B, we all knew it was gonna be B. Our team gets rolled and the enemy team takes the point. Moira's terrible split-second decision sold the fight that wasn't necessarily lost. That's clue 15. Moira chooses to be an evil Moira instead of a good one at a pivotal moment. Trying to recontest before Team 1 took the point, our Torb ran into Soldier. Well, as soon as the point is taken, Soldier pushes Torb and Torb loses the 1v1. Our Moira swaps to a Zenyatta, goated. She really said, let's make sure we lose this game. It's a horrible swap. Zen Lucio is an awful heal comp. Echo barely manages to win her 1v1 against the same Soldier, and while that's happening, Rein and Lucio flank around. Like, really far around. Rein goes for an epic charge play, misses everyone, and dies. Awesome sauce. As Rein is being mauled, Echo pushes out and gets killed by Juno and Lifeweaver. Lucio tries to get out but can't, and Zenyatta dies because he was just floating to the point, oblivious to the state of the fight. Fight 8 was messy. The questionable plays at the end of the second point really made sure that there was no hope of our team holding the doors on point 3. But the game is not over. There is a chance. It can feel impossible to close out a Hollywood match sometimes, so I have hope. And then Torb dies for no reason, really ruining any chance we had at defense. That's clue 16. Torb staggers in the final fight of the game. Zen dies because he's in a horrible position, not playing any cover, doing basically nothing, really making sure that 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, that we lose this game. Clue 17. Zen dies for no reason. Juno ults and then Echo ults Ram to keep herself alive. She basically immediately gets her ult killed because of her horrible positioning. Lucio ults to save Rein. The enemy Torb ults. Soldier, who has flanked up top, ults and kills Torb and Echo. Oh yeah, and our Zen swap to a Mercy. Rein dies, then Mercy, then Lucio, and with that, the game is over. A chaotic, frustrating, and ultimately predictable loss. We always knew this was gonna happen. The real question is, who threw? Let's look at the final evidence board. 17 clues, 17 moments of questionable decision making. Our supports had their share of mistakes, especially our Moira's selfish ultimate and the bad positioning of Zenyatta, but the Lucio was a god gamer who single-handedly kept them in this match. The supports are not our primary culprits. That leaves us with 2 prime suspects, the tank and the DPS. Now the easy answer, the obvious answer, is the Reinhardt. The final charge in round 1 was a masterclass in throwing. With 40 seconds on the clock, he charged in completely alone and sealed his team's fate. It was a truly spectacular display of running it down mid. For many, that's an open and shut case. But that's where you'd be wrong. That charge was just the final desperate act in a game that was already lost. It was the last gasp of a tank who had been abandoned by his DPS for the entire match. The Reinhardt's throw was a symptom. The DPS's consistent lack of impact was the disease. Let's look at the evidence against them. A staggering 9 separate clues. Echo dying first, Bastion being oblivious, Echo dying again to the same epic Torb flank, Echo overplaying her ult, Echo playing so far back she was useless, Echo dying before the final fight in round 1, and then Torb staggering not once but twice. They were a black hole of resources and a constant drain on momentum. They had no awareness, no impact, and no understanding of their role. But hey, that's just my final verdict. The beauty of these cases is that there's always room for the debate. Who do you think is the real culprit here? Was I too hard on the Echo? Should the Rhine have known better? Let me know your judgment down in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you in game.